Welcome to another year at Rick Hansen. To start today, I would like to introduce you to your 2017-2018 administration team. I am Ms. White, principal, and your two vice principals are Ms. Gill, in charge of students with surnames A to K, and Mr. McLeod, in charge of students with surnames L to Z. At this time, I would also like to introduce our two SRO officers for the 2017-2018 school year, Constable Rob and Constable Horancy. You will see them in the school most days, and they look forward to working with you. Our school was named after famous philanthropist and Paralympian Rick Hansen, who in 1985 embarked on a 26-month tour around the world in his wheelchair to raise money for spinal cord research. Behind a great man is our great motto, be the best that you can be. It is our hope that you will make the most of your time here and be successful at everything that you embark on, both at school and your life outside of school. Here at Rick Hansen, we practice the STORM philosophy of S for stewardship, which includes helping others and taking care of the environment. T for technology and using 21st century tools for success. O for opportunity by making the most of school and being engaged in learning. R for responsiveness by taking action to do the right thing when it is required. And M for metacurriculum by taking the time to learn about learning and to make the most of your studies here. It is our mission to prepare all learners who attend Rick Hansen to be thinking, caring, flexible individuals who can meet the challenges of the 21st century.
Self-respect. Self-respect is to have pride and confidence in oneself, a feeling that one is behaving with honor and dignity. At Rick Hansen, we believe that students and staff need to not only respect each other, but also themselves. The first part with this is clothing. This would include wearing the proper clothing. The dress code is seen as a good way to encourage respect, responsibility, and safety in our schools. Rick Hansen's dress code strikes a balance for both staff and students between individual expression and the expectation of society for appropriate attire in a shared workplace such as a school. It is understood that students who do not follow the dress code will be asked by a teacher or vice principal to change, borrow a t-shirt or other clothing from a friend, or remove the offensive item. In these cases, a phone call will be placed by the staff member to the parent or guardian to explain the school's concerns. It is the professional judgment of staff that will determine the appropriateness or lack of appropriateness of student dress. A reminder that overtly revealing and overly sexual clothing such as transparent, displaying undergarments, backless, skimpy, bare midriffs, and low-cut or off-the-shoulder clothing are not acceptable as forms of dress within the school. The second is headwear. Headwear is allowed at Rick Hansen Secondary School. All students are allowed to be wearing all headwear within the hallways and within the school. Within the individual classroom, it is up to teacher discretion. Third, student IDs. All students of Rick Hansen Secondary School must have a current 2017-2018 student ID. The student ID must be carried at all times and can be used to identify yourself to staff members, used to sign materials from the library, and used to purchase food and other drinks from the cafeteria. And this would be done through the Cash Online system. Finally, positive attitude of self-respect. All students are expected to have a positive attitude when representing Rick Hansen Secondary School, both as a student in the building and in the community. This includes being respectful to staff and other students. Your health and our health. Your health, which equates to our health. Rick Hansen Secondary School prides itself on being a smoke-free, drug-free, and alcohol-free environment. Students who choose to smoke cigarettes and are of legal age must do so off of school property. Students found using, consuming, or being in possession of illegal drugs or alcohol will be escorted to the main office and will receive consequences. Finally, if you feel you or a friend has a substance abuse problem and you'd like some support with this matter, please contact the counseling department for this. Medical reporting. Families are reminded that they must report all medical concerns and conditions to the main office. Any changes to your medical condition must be updated as soon as possible so that we can support you to the best of our ability. A reminder to all students that the school is not allowed to administer prescription or over-the-counter drugs, including painkillers such as Tylenol or Advil. Rick Hansen Secondary School is a scent-free school, and staff and students are asked to not wear such strong scented perfumes, colognes, or body sprays. Students found to be spraying scents in the school or wearing overpowering scents will be directed to the main office and could be sent home. Our school is a safe and respectful place. We are teaching students to identify bullying behavior and give them strategies to deal with and to stop it from happening. Bullying is typically a form of repeated, persistent, and aggressive behavior redirected at an individual or group of people that is intended to cause or should be known to cause fear, stress, and or harm to another person's body, feelings, self-esteem, or reputation. Bullying occurs in a context where there is a real or perceived power imbalance. When someone experiences or observes bullying behavior, he or she is expected to report it to a teacher, teaching assistant, school administrator, or any other staff member in the building immediately. Bullying behavior will be dealt with using a progressive discipline approach. And a reminder, improper and intimidating behavior that affects the rights of students and staff to work in a safe, comfortable learning environment will not be tolerated. This includes harassment, physical, verbal, oral, or written or electronic items such as Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, etc. are all concerns, as well as sexual or psychological abuse, bullying, initiations, gang or hate-related activities, or discrimination on the basis of faith, race, gender, socioeconomic status, ability, age, sexual orientation, or any other attribute is unacceptable. Where can you be during the school day? A reminder that lunch periods at Rick Hansen Secondary School are during periods 3 and 4. Students that are on lunch may eat their lunch in the cafeteria, the main atrium, or outside. A reminder that our library is open during lunch periods, however, food is not to be consumed in there. A reminder to clean up after yourselves once you're done eating to keep Rick Hansen Secondary School as a clean place for both staff, students, and the communities. Students that are on lunch are not allowed to be in the wings of the first floor, stairwells, or staircases, or on the second or third floor, as these areas are primarily used for academic purposes during this time. Lockers. Each student at Rick Hansen Secondary School is eligible to use the locker provided to them by the school. Lockers may be used before and after school and during period changes. If you are on lunch, locker access is given to students during the last 5 minutes of the period. A reminder to all students that lockers are the possession of the Peel District School Board and can be searched by the school administration at any time. A final reminder that change room lockers are to be used for day use only, and locks will be periodically cut off if locks are left on overnight and the contents removed. The end of the school day. The school day at Rick Hansen Secondary School finishes at 3:05 p.m. If you are not involved in a supervised activity by staff after school, we ask that you vacate the building by 3:25 p.m. each day. This allows our custodial staff to clean the building and for the school to get ready for afternoon, evening permits, and any other school events that may be occurring. For students that are driving, it is a privilege to drive a car and park it at Rick Hansen Secondary School. Students are reminded that safe and responsible as well as respectful driving practices are expected at all times. If you're found not following direction, you will lose your parking privileges. As well, visitor parking and parking anywhere other than at the front of the building is not an option for students.
To care for each other means that we stand up and support one another when we witness or learn about an interaction that isn't mutually respectful. If you're suspicious that someone is being hurt, report your concern. If you have a safety question, Kids Help Phone is available 24/7, or you can talk to an adult like a parent, teacher, counselor, or administrator. Caring about our school means that we pick up after ourselves. We don't leave garbage to pile up on tables, in the halls, or in rooms of our building, and we recycle what we can. It's a privilege to go to school where you're not only allowed but encouraged to bring your own electronic device and where Wi-Fi is available throughout the school. So make sure that you're using technology to support your academic goals and be responsible with it. Speaking of personal electronic devices, remember to always keep yours in a secure place, and that goes for all of the valuables you may need to leave unattended. The school does not take responsibility for any lost or stolen property, so be careful and lock up your stuff. As a member of the Rick Hansen community, please do not allow any non-Rick Hansen students on our property or in our building. This is considered trespassing. Likewise, do not go to any other schools during the school day. At Rick Hansen, we not only show respect for our own school and property, we also care about our neighborhood and community. It would be wonderful if all of our students walked or rode their bikes to school, but if you get dropped off and picked up in front of our building every day, please remember to meet your rides in the Kiss and Ride lane that loops the parking lot. Getting dropped off there before 8:15 in the morning and picked up there after 3:15 in the afternoon will help to keep this area safe for pedestrians. All students who follow the STORM philosophy are sure to have a smooth and worry-free experience at Rick Hansen. Just remember, show up, be respectful, and do your best. We all need to be mindful, however, that we are responsible for the things we say and do. The only person you can control is yourself. If you're concerned about your safety or someone else's, please make sure to report this to an adult in the building so appropriate actions and interventions can be taken. Don't be a bystander. Students who do not engage in upstanding behavior may find themselves a participant in the progressive discipline policy. Progressive discipline is a strategy that encourages students to learn from their past mistakes and to accept consequences for their own behavior with increasing consequences for subsequent discipline-related issues. In rare circumstances, students can be suspended from school for engaging in behaviors that are unacceptable. These circumstances can include committing robberies and theft, including taking items that aren't yours from change rooms or classrooms, and even instances of academic theft. Being under the influence of alcohol or drugs, bringing them to school, or giving them to others is not allowed. Bullying others at school or online, swearing at or threatening the safety of others in the school or online, or any other activities that can be viewed as interfering with another person's ability to feel safe at school is also not permitted. In even more rare circumstances, an expulsion from school will be considered when students bring any type of weapon to school. Even fake weapons intended as props in class presentations could result in consequences. If students use a weapon, commit a physical assault which requires the victim to seek medical treatment, commit sexual assault, or engage in the buying and selling of drugs or weapons, expulsion may be considered. However, if students focus on the positive and their academic success, this should be an amazing year. Success in school means showing up for all classes on time. Remember, show up, be responsible, and show initiative. In those rare circumstances where you must be absent because of illness or appointment, have your parents call in or bring in a note on the first day of your return. Make sure you approach your teachers to get an idea of what you've missed. Even better, make sure you have the contact information of someone in each of your classes, or you know where to look online, and be proactive about missed work. The next key to improve performance in school is to set academic goals for yourself. Look at how you did last year and find areas where you know you could improve. Decide on reachable goals for this semester to focus on your areas for improvement. Make a plan to achieve those goals. Write them down. Tell them to people to keep yourself accountable. Remember, our ultimate goal is to do it right the first time. One way to make sure you do it right the first time is to always engage in academic honesty. Do your own work. Credit others when you paraphrase or quote their work. Avoid cheating. Learning means demonstrating what you can do and working on getting better where you struggle. Good time management and study habits will help you avoid this trap. In planning ahead, please remember that final evaluations occur during the last few weeks of every semester, and these must be completed by all students under the direct supervision of a teacher. This year, final evaluations will occur during the last few weeks of January and the last few weeks in June. Avoid appointments and trips during this time except under the most dire or extenuating circumstances. Final evaluations cannot be rescheduled. So what's the best way to make sure you plan for success? Make sure to regularly check the school's website at peelschools.org, where you can find out about upcoming events. Refer to the student handbook and find newsletters and other information about things like course selections and diploma requirements. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Rick Hansen PDSB. Make sure you find a healthy balance between life and school. Use class time wisely to minimize homework, free up time to get involved with clubs, teams, and sports, and make time for family and friends. Start working on collecting your 40 hours of volunteer work early so you can spread it out and not have to worry about it in the spring of the grade 12 year. Use opportunities to your advantage and be involved in the life of the school.
So to conclude, remember that in life, you get out what you put in. Put lots of effort in, and you will be rewarded with great things in return. Good luck, everyone, and remember, be the best that you can be.